Hello everyone, and welcome back to Wolf Quest 3, where we're here celebrating the grand finale of our Generation 3 of the Dawn Moon Pack. And she's done it, you guys! Our wonderful girl Demeter has not only been able to go ahead and accomplish raising all of her puppies safely into adulthood, but Demeter has also completed her lifetime quest of hunting 100 rabbits. She managed to hunt the final rabbits just moments before we ended up raising her pack to the end of the summer hunting grounds. I am so proud of what she accomplished. She also completed her mate's quest of Iason's quest of hiding every time there was a thunderstorm about and sleeping through it. That actually didn't happen as often as we thought, so that worked out really well for us. And Demeter was not only able to explore and adventure into a whole new part of the map that we had never been in before, finding dens and rendezvous sites that we didn't even know existed, but she was also able to almost complete Iason's collar quest. Unfortunately, we didn't see the Abyss Lake wolves again, so hopefully they won't be around a second time. Oh my gosh, it was really scary being surrounded by dead wolves the first time we started adventuring with her. But we'll have to see what happens with Generation 4 of the Dawn Moon Pack. So now that Demeter is done, let's do this, you guys! I mean, I love seeing the family trees. Oh my gosh, look, there's Achilles again! And Achilles actually had a collar too, and I totally forgot about that. And he was not the strongest wolf. He actually had a lot less speed and health and strength that you would think. Persephone also didn't have the stamina, but somehow together they still ended up having a bunch of babies from Hades, Artemis, Demeter, Jalan, who was a fan favorite for sure, Alicia, Apollo, and Circe. Oh, I had so much fun with all of them. And then we ended up going ahead, and now Demeter and Iason managed to have their puppies survive. Clover is the first up with her beautiful, very unusual blonde fur. She actually has -2 stamina. She's got a little bit of strength and a little bit of health, but not a lot of speed, but she's doing pretty well. And we're gonna take a look at her in just a second to see what she looks like as an adult wolf. But Hare is over here with -2 stamina, so stamina really seems to be down for this family. I'm thinking it's because they mostly inherited that from Iason, and Demeter also had a little bit of a struggle with that too. But we do have a bit of strength and speed on Hare, which makes a lot of sense because he was actually our chonker boy. He was the one who was the biggest out of the puppies that we had. And then we've got Lark! And Lark was the smallest of the puppies. He also was the sickest, and he also managed to survive being stepped on by a bison, which I really appreciate. And he actually has -2 stamina, -1 strength, but is middling on speed and health. So fingers crossed that he'll actually be able to have a healthy life ahead of him. As usual, all of these are going to be up for adoption at some point in the near future. So you can check out the video description for a link to the special Google page where it links to downloads of the save files for all of our wolves once they become adults. And you can actually add them into your game by following the instructions and be able to see where the Moon Pack goes in your own stories too. So if you have a favorite, don't worry. If you want to see their story go forward and they don't get picked as heir, you will be able to go ahead and create their story yourself. That being said, let's go ahead and look deeper into their personalities, their future life quests, and of course, what they look like grown up. So Clover, you're up first. Okay, Clover. Clover! Look at you! Oh, she's got the scratch. Okay, hang on, there we go. Here she is, you guys. Okay, so Clover does have some scratches on her nose. She's actually got a really pretty coloring to her too. I really like it. And apparently her genetic coat color is gray, but she looks like a really red wolf. I'm trying to think if she looks similar, kind of similar to her aunts, but she's actually a little bit more golden than not, and she has golden eyes too, which is really cool to see. So Clover has a fast-paced, loving, and boisterous personality. Ironically, all traits that a random generator picked for her, but they fit very well. And she seems to take a lot after her mother, Demeter. She likes to stay constantly on the move, and usually only goes to sleep when she literally has no energy left to give. Her favorite types of prey to chase are those that give a real chase, like deer and rabbits. However, her fast-paced personality means that she doesn't have time for those who can't keep up, and although she is very loving towards her pups, she often forgets to slow down for stragglers. So Clover's life quest is to roll a dice to determine the maximum number of days she will stay at any den in Summersite, which is something we started to do with I think Achilles, but we really are making that happen now. I've really enjoyed doing that because it's really made the stories pretty dynamic and diverse, and it also gives us a challenge to explore sites that we've not denned at or rendezvous sites that we've not gone to yet as well, which is really fun. And so basically we have to roll a dice anytime she has a den, anytime we land at a spot with the summer site for the pups. And all of the pups, if all the pups survive despite the constant travel, so if we do that and then everybody survives to the very end, then she completes her life quest because she's very loving and she wants to make sure that all of her pups do survive, even if she is extremely easily distracted by traveling a whole lot. So there we go, that's Clover. Oh, I really like her. She's so beautiful, and I love how her coat colors came through. So let's actually come over, and now we're going to go back to her mom, Demeter. Yeah, if I'm looking through the family tree, Clover looks a lot like Achilles in some regards. Like, I think they almost have the same color, but Achilles is a little bit more red. So it's really kind of fun to see her grandfather come out, and she's just a little teeny bit more golden than him. So it's really fun to see like her grandfather Achilles' colors reflected in her. I love that. All right, and then we have a little Hare. So let's go ahead and grow him up. Hare! Oh my gosh, he turned out very differently than I was expecting. Look at him. And he's got a scar under his eye. What? I wonder what he got in a fight with. Possibly a grizzly bear. But alright, Hare is a calm, steady wolf who takes a lot after his father Iason. He's fairly laid back, but he prefers following reliable plans. As a result, he tries to follow the lead of other successful wolves and isn't too particularly playful or inventive. He likes to keep a simple, established territory and is often at a loss when something threatens his plans, like a den flooding or a pup falling ill. And his lifetime quest is actually the fact that he loves following established plans so much that he prefers to learn from other successful wolf packs. He actually likes to go and view them and see what they're up to from a safe distance so he can try to learn some new tactics from them. And as a result of loving to learn from other wolf packs, his ideal mate is one who is from a successful pack instead of one of the wandering strangers. So his life quest is to lure a mate out from one of the 3 established packs on Amethyst Mountain. And that's going to be kind of tricky because we only allow a maximum of 3 to 5 episodes for finding a mate. So if he doesn't find somebody that he can lure away from an established territory within 3 to 5 episodes, he's just going to have to take any mate he can get. That would mean that his life quest could fail kind of early, but if he gets a really big established territory, and depending on what his mate's life quest might be, we can still end up making up the difference if he does end up having to pick just a wandering mate instead. And I think that Hare could be a lot of fun to follow along. He also looks a lot tougher than I was expecting, so I wonder if he might even have like a secondary, like not worth any points or fame quest, but just like a secondary life quest of maybe biting a few bear butts, and that might trigger the bear butt biting to happen for his kids. So we'll have to see, we'll have to see. All right, Hare, very good to see you too. Demeter, you ended up with a lot of like very pale wolves once your puppies grew up. And then finally we have little Lark. So let's see what he looks like. Wow, Lark! Oh, he is like your typical beautiful gray wolf. Wow, look at his face. Oh, he looks really sweet. Look at him. Dang, now I'm tempted by like all three of them for different ways. But Lark is the smallest and weakest of his siblings, and he's also one of the more adventurous, which could spell disaster or create adventures of a lifetime. He's determined to set out in the world and establish territory where none of his recent family has been, so he wants to find dens and sites to raise his pups at that no other Moonpack territory or no other Moonpack member in living memory has used. So he might be allowed to use the ones that like Meadow used, for instance, but most likely we'd be better off trying to find dens in a pretty new location for us at least. And so, let's see, however, that's not really his lifetime quest, that's just his personality. His lifetime quest is pretty hilarious, and I really love it, because he is unfortunately extremely clumsy, and that has proven to make life a bit of a challenge for him. Lark has to roll a dice each time he finds a potential mate, or a spot to potentially den at. If the dice rolls 4, then that means that he was so clumsy that he scared away the potential mate, or he ruined the den site and has to move on. So actually his lifetime quest is trying to keep all of his pups alive, even though if he finds a mate we roll 4, we have to pass on the mate. Same with the den. And finally he has to roll a dice each morning to mark one type of prey that he's just too clumsy to catch that day. So I'll have to roll a generator, and if the generator says deer, then that day Lark will just be way too clumsy to hunt any mule deer. And if we end up rolling like elk, he's just too clumsy that day to hunt any elk. And that would challenge us to try to go into places to find new types of prey, and it could make it very tricky to make sure that everybody gets enough food. So Lark has a lot of little like intricate challenges in his life and could also be very interesting to play. So there we go, you guys. We have got Lark, we have got Hare, and then we have got Clover, all of whom have some beautiful characteristics about them, all of whom are extremely interesting, and especially for Lark, some of whom are like a victory that we even got this far. This guy almost died more than almost any of our other pups that we've had who just like who survived and didn't die. He was very close to it. Survived being stepped on by a bison as a wolf pup. Still impressed by that. But alright guys, that is the end of Generation 3 of the Dawn Moon Pack, the end of Demeter and her bait Iason's story, and the beginning of a new era. So who's your favorite and who do you think we should pick if we do carry on with both the Dawn and the Dark Moon Pack legacy stories? And yeah, if you want to join us for all of those and literally thousands more stories, do please go ahead and consider just subscribing. But most importantly, my friends, stay curious. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.